So it's that time of year, eh? Where we talk about the Detroit Red Wings and some of the moves they have made to the roster. Because with these moves opens up new conversations, and of course, we always love to talk about what's going on with our favorite hockey teams, which is why we are making this video today. The Detroit Red Wings have themselves a pretty interesting matchup coming up tomorrow. They will be playing off against the Anaheim Ducks. A Ducks team that, for the most part, has been so good. Like, off-the-wall, thriller, absolutely impeccably good the past few weeks here. They're the second-best team in the National Hockey League, and they had just played off against the first-place team in yesterday's contest against Colorado. The Avs ended up winning. Thank goodness Scott Wedgwood had himself a really good game because it got me some fantasy points. But the Ducks will be coming into Detroit tomorrow looking for a vengeance. They were 9-1-0 in their last 10. Now they're 8-2-0 because of the loss. So you better bet your behind that the Detroit Red Wings are going to need to bring their A-game to defeat one of, if not the hottest teams in the NHL at this point of the season. Now, with that being established, we had ourselves some new Red Wings lines, and a bunch of ensuing conversations afterwards. Take a look at this. It was posted by Ansar Khan yesterday. And yeah, we're looking at the yesterday lines because I'm assuming that the lines are going to stay the same heading into today's practice. If they change, then of course we'll do some corrections. But Ansar Khan talked about the Red Wings lines yesterday. Nate Danielson led the stretch before practice. Lines go as follows. Alex DeBrincat with Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond, Emmett Finnie with JT Compher and Patrick Kane, Marco Kasper with Nate Danielson and Mason Appleton, with Soderblom as the extra there, and Michael Rasmussen with Andrew Kopp and James Van Riemsdyk. The extra is Berggren. So some interesting movement going on here. Emmett Finnie demoted from line number 1 to line number 2. JT Compher is the second-line center, no longer is it Marco Kasper, and Alex DeBrincat's going to get a shot with Larkin and Raymond. Now, hedonistically, I wanted to go out there and say that if this results in some more points out of DeBrincat and Raymond, then absolutely let's see it happen. I want to see my guys go out there and help me out in fantasy, because the Montreal Canadiens haven't really been doing that. It's a tight matchup this week, my friends. I'm playing the number 1 team. But there are some reservations that we can have about the way the rest of the lineup goes. Just for reference, the D pairs went as follows. Edvinsson was with Seider, Ben Sherratt with ASP, Albert Johansson with Jacob Bernard-Docker, and Travis Hamonic was the extra. So there you go. JBD is back into the lineup there. At least that's what it looks like from this. And there are a number of reactions we have seen from Detroit Red Wings fans following the publication, I guess, of these lines. Publication is the wrong word. It makes it sound like the Red Wings submitted these. No, they just used them in practice, and now us as fans are having the opportunity to respond to them. I've seen some concern as to JT Compher being the second-line guy over Marco Kasper. Also, Emmett Finnie and Patrick Kane. The question is whether or not they'll be able to work out together. Also, I've seen a bunch of people bringing up Patrick Kane not being able to do well without Alex DeBrincat. More on that later, but yeah, it is kind of interesting to see Marco Kasper get demoted to line number 3. But I like this because it gives the rest of the lineup actual capable scoring threats throughout. And that's not to say that the rest of the bottom 6 was not capable of scoring any points lately, but diversifying things to the point where your top line has a bunch of trigger men, DeBrincat, Raymond, Larkin, okay, that's fine. You have Finnie, who has proven to be NHL caliber at this stage of his career with Patty Kane and Compher. Compher, by the way, has been buzzing a little bit as of late. He has been a little more noticeable than usual. Marco Kasper, who did show off very well in a first-line role last season, playing alongside of the newly appointed Nate Danielson, and then JVR with Andrew Kopp and Rasmussen. Say what you want about this line, but there are some skills, I guess, that you can say exist there. Here's a comment on the R Detroit Red Wings subreddit from yesterday that was one of the more popular ones posted by ZZ4. He goes out there and says this: based off of the lines we have seen, the number 2C issue rears its head once again. Without Marco Kasper performing like a 2C, the middle is weak. We're once again hoping that the Wings can carry the 2C, or pray that Nate Danielson moves up, or Kasper gets his mojo back. I dislike splitting up Kane and DeBrincat because they're a proven commodity, but TODD MCLELLAN can only do so much with moving around what is essentially our only 4 scorers on the roster. The top reply says, the Kasper-Kane line was clicking super well until Kane went down. They've only struggled trying to make up for Kane's absence. Now that he's back, I think that line should stay together to get their chemistry back again. So, of course, this commenter is in favor of keeping it together. There's another reply from the Dual Joystick that says the opposite, though. The Detroit Red Wings become way too predictable when it's Kane and DeBrincat. The plan is isolate DeBrincat and hope that Kane can nail the cross-ice pass, which he can because he's Kane, and hope that Cat doesn't fan or blast the shot wide. I'm not saying that DeBrincat can't hit it, it's just that's an incredibly hard play for anyone to execute. The Wings for years have always tried to just recreate the Hedman-Kucherov-Stamkos play they perfected with Mo, Kane, and Cat, but the one problem is Kuch was so good at selling a shot and then dishing it over in one motion, and everyone in the stadium knows the moment the Wings set up in the O-zone that no shot is coming from Kane, so they can cheat over and keep their sticks in the lanes. So, it will be interesting to take a look at how the team plays when DeBrincat and Kane are separated, at least at 5v5. We'll assume on the power play things are the same, but if that is the case here with the way their power play is deployed, I mean, we saw the Red Wings power play be productive last year. We know it's in them to have a full season's worth of offensive productivity, but throughout this little down stretch, you can say, there are some improvements that can be made. So at the end of the day, there are a number of things that we can discuss when it comes to these new Red Wings lines. Marco Kasper demoted to the third line. Is that the right move? Is it better to give him a top spot? Let's say play him on the first line? Or is the center position too valuable that you need to see Kasper progressing in a way where he can develop into a center and develop habits that will help him be that second line C rather than just fishing for points on the first line? I get that he's not playing center right now if he's on third line left wing, but obviously the third line plays a lot differently than the first line does. If Kasper is able to refine his game and just kind of get back into that mindset of being that dog, of grinding down plays, of working extraordinarily hard, outpacing the opponent every shift, then those are skills that will help him become a 2C. As for the second line in general, I mean, Patty Kane, it's going to be interesting to see him try to get his mojo back with Finnie and Comfer instead of DeBrincat and Kasper. And for me personally, I already dropped Patrick Kane in fantasy just because it's a really tight week, as I've been alluding to the entire time here. And I still got DeBrincat and Raymond though, so if they're able to go out there and produce against the Anaheim Ducks, I'd like that a lot. But ultimately, there are a number of things that we can talk about when it comes to what decisions should be made and how they are made. If you want to get your thoughts in the comments section, hey, that's all your prerogative. What are your thoughts on the way the Wings look with these lines up ahead? If Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin can get Alex DeBrincat going after it took him so long to find the back of the net to open up this season in general, then I will be a very, very happy camper. The guy almost scored 40 last year after all. He's got the talent. We just kind of need to see him score a little bit more. Oh yeah, look at that. Such amazing commentary from myself. He's got the talent to score. He just has to do it more. Wonderful. I just can't wait for this guy to get a hat trick, man. He needs it. Absolutely needs it. He's on pace for 21 goals at the moment. Get that up to 40. Please, DeBrincat. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about these new Red Wings lines? And are there any concerns that you have based off of these moves? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.